Kia ora, he mihi aroa tēnei to all the family and to our people in Rongo Wahine and Te Mahia. Mihi aroa tēnei kia koutou on this beautiful Easter Saturday morning here in Waikato. I just wanted to relate a few stories on the families that resided on the Mahia Peninsula. We'll start from the end. Back in the day, where at Tawapata, where Nani Muewarongo and Nani Ora lived, and they lived in the big home down there, and next to there they had a school, of course, where our esteemed man Derek Fox, he went to school there, and later in years, of course, my cousins, Tini and Suarongo, went to school there as well. And we mixed with them now and again. They would come out to the Mahia school, and yes, and I just forget the name of the headmaster, George, something was his name. But no, he would bring them out, and we'd have a get-together at the Mahia school and always try to beat them at whatever we did. And I think they seemed to beat us a lot. I think there were Yogi Tuhi's children too that were out there, Hana Tuhi and them. I think they went to school at Tawapata. And they're from Opotama there, or Kaiwaitau. And of course, Nani Muewarongo and Nani Ora, they had to come out of there, travel out to, of course, to get their stores and whatever. But in those days, there was no road over the top. They had to go by the sea, and they were also quite clever to do a concrete highway along the potholes on the shoreline. And I think it was orange concrete they used to pour in there, and so their trucks wouldn't get bellied, or their vehicles they drove would not get bellied on their way out. And because they'd come out Tawapata around by Huri Tangata, where the cutting hall was always thick at certain times, and because the big powers were there too, as well. The place of the One Pawa too, and off the end of there coming around to Taiwananga. And of course there were families at Taiwananga, of memory, the Cotton family. Later on in the years, the Cotton family lived there, and of course Nanny Paul and Auntie Paul, Uncle Paul and Auntie Dinah, Ehu, and their children, and they all travelled from around those ways along the beach and then the road along the shoreline. But then actually the road was built from Taiwananga over up to the top of the hill above there, and a few 100 feet. And at Wainui, it was called Wainui Orangi, that roadway. And it came out, and well, at the top of that road lived the Markware, Uncle Henry Markware. He lived up in the paddock up there, and his home was way across the paddock. There's now a station there now, Okepuha, and you had to go through Okepuha station to get to Uncle Henry Markware's place. And then coming down further, well, we go back down to the beach shoreline, and you had went along and you came to Taiporuutu. Now, Taiporuutu too, it was a pretty sacred place there, because up top of the hill at Taiporuutu, they had mud. They had bubbling mud. They had the hot mud, and I don't know whether the latters used it or not. Mene Whanga Sholem lived there with her husband up top. And of course, that mud was used in the dyeing of piu-piu. It was also used for healing purposes. People used to lay in it and lay in the mud, and it wasn't very too hot, but it was hot. And even I think today it still remains. It's still hot today, so it probably would be. However, kia ora, and that's Taiwananga, Taiporuutu. You came further along to Whatangamango. Now, Whatangamango was another provision for people who were travelling past on waka, and what they would see, Patangamango means the hanging of shark in the trees. Well, dried shark to our people in those days was quite good, was very enjoyable. So they would do that, hang the sharks in the tree. Well, they named the area Whatangamango, Whatangamango. And while they were there at Whatangamango doing all this thing, well, people passing by on passing waka would think, oh, well, they would come in to renew their supplies. But as they came in closer to get right into shore to see those hanging shark, I think they viewed a few torsos. So at those moments, they would probably be backpedaling it out of there because they didn't want to be hung up there too for kai for the iwi. No reira. Yeah, so that's Patangamango. But you know, we can we will get the ending of it, and eventually come around Table Cape. But with that, I hope you enjoyed this little bit of kōrero. Kia ora mai koutou. Be well and safe in your homes. God bless.